Hi everyone, thank you very much for stopping by and returning to the old world. Today we're taking a closer look at the progress I've made for the Tale of Many Gamers project, looking specifically at my Empire / human and halfling combo army. Today focusing on the veteran state troopers of the Halfling Revolutionary Guard. So let's have a look at them in all their glory. Now, for the majority of this unit, in fact, pretty much exclusively, these are modelled straight out of the box from the Mantic Halfling army set, equipped with spears and shields, or perhaps more accurately, I should be saying, equipped with partisans. Now, overall, I think these models were pretty okay to put together. A little bit fiddly at times, purely because they're a bit small, but that comes with the nature of the beast of putting halflings or dwarves or anything of that sort of stature together. I think they rank up really nicely on the new size base of 25mm. Here I've used bases from war bases, and I'm using those consistently throughout my Empire army for consistency. One thing I did note, however, is that the Mantic halflings that I got don't actually come with command options, which was a little bit annoying. Yes, you can equip with a gun or sword or something like that in order just to make a difference for your champion model, but there is no options for musicians or banner bearers. To get around this issue, I've been plundering some Wargame Atlantic figures. I bought a box of their Halfling Militia, which I intended to use to perform a second unit of State Troopers and also to give me some missile archer type units floating around. And they do come, because they're largely equipped with spears and halberds, quite an array of spears which can be used as banners. You get one of them per sprue, and there's quite a lot of sprues on a box, there being 40 models in that particular set. Now, they're not an exact match for the Mantic models. They're a little bit smaller, a little bit fiddlier from that perspective, and a little bit more frail. The Halfling BSB / Captain of the Empire is made out of one of those Warlord Atlantic figures. And as you can see, whilst it does look alright next to the Mantic Halflings, it is a tiny little bit smaller, but it did give me some extra options that I wanted to use for that particular figure. Now, as the unit is representing a veteran state trooper unit and is forming the core of the revolutionary halfling element of this army, I wanted these to have a bit more of a uniform colour scheme. That's not going to be true of my less regular units. And being as we're talking about Halfling Revolutionary Guard here, I thought red would be a really suitable colour for them. Blue goes nicely with that, I think, as a complement. So there you have it. A red and blue colour scheme with then a mixture of light armour types dotted around the unit. Some are wearing helmets and breastplates, some have got gambazons, some have got bare heads. Painting wise, I think they went together quite nicely. They were fairly straightforward to paint and to get a decent tabletop result. Now, I'm sure many of you could get a much better outcome than I could on these. I am trying to get through things as quickly as possible to a solid battlefield standard, which I'm happy with, and these definitely fit the bill. The hand-drawn flags maybe could have come out a little bit better, but I suppose such is life from that perspective. So how have I been finding them as a unit on the battlefield? Well, principally their role is to hold up enemy units, to hold the line, to allow flank attacks to come in on a counter punch, or just to get in the way to allow other units to do their job more effectively. Particularly looking at the shooting element, which seems to be the most successful part of the Empire army I've been wielding to date. And I have to be honest, they haven't really been particularly good at doing their job when it comes to this. I think The lack of things like shield wall really hurts the Empire State troops, particularly if you look at the cheaper options available to other armies, such as the Bretonnian men-at-arms, which can be made stubborn, which can have shield wall, and also have the warband rule. So they are really, really good at clogging up part of the field and are quite cheap models, with an option as well of being equipped either with halberds or spears, depending on what they want to use their weapons as in that particular round of combat. With the Empire stuff, you need to make a choice. In the army list building phase, I've gone for spears for the extra attacks, because quite frankly they die so quickly. The odds are they're not going to get many strikes in with a halberd. I've tried a couple of ways of using these. I've fielded 2 blocks of veteran state troops, the others not being painted yet, so not on display, and I've also 1 block of state troops backed by a Griffin standard in order to double up their static rank bonus resolution. I've not found the Griffin banner particularly brilliant, I think, in this edition. In old editions of Warhammer Fantasy, or should I say in the old game that was Warhammer Fantasy, I think Griffin banner was really quite good, but then you could get 3 ranks as your base, whereas now it's limited to 2. So instead of getting 6 points of resolution as a result of that over 3 points, you're now getting 4 as opposed to 2. And that's obviously quite a significantly weaker. Now, I do think it would be a shame for an Empire army not to have some element of a ranked up infantry unit floating around. So I really want to try and find a way of making this unit work, whether that be adding in some detachments. I've tried both with and without detachments to pretty similar effect actually, where things have gone quite wrong quite quickly for them. But I will continue, I think, to play with this, because I do want to have them in my final force. However, if any of you guys have got tips on how to use Empire State troops in Warhammer The Old World, maybe you found a combination that's really given you some success, be it a particular combination of detachments, be it magical items, be it the right kind of hero support. They're currently being used as a bunker for my level 4 wizard, and also having the BSB in there to try and give them a little bit more stability. Not that it's helped me all that much. But yeah, any ideas, much welcome. Do let me know down in the comments below. Just to round out, I would like to flag a couple of friends of the channel also taking part in the Tale of Many Gamers project, who are also producing some really good content on different topics. Incursion Games and Epic Flail both tend to be more 40k based. Some really good, interesting discussions on Epic Flail about many different things, including the impact of Warhammer on mental health from a very much a positive perspective, and Incursion Events giving some really good guidance on how to use various different mechanics of the game, Warhammer 40k that is, to your advantage, details of which will be down in the description below. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do consider liking and subscribing if you want to follow the channel and get notifications and when new videos have been released. Once again, thank you very much for listening. I am returned to the old world. Have a great day.